Alright guys, we just got done looking at the troll. See, he's ginormous as heck. He's huge. He's huge. He's pretty big.
Did you get the whole troll? This is the best I could get.
That's good. I got the whole thing.
And we're now going to something called the duck troll. The duck troll.
The bridge.
No, I'm saying that we're going on a duck thing. Me and my dad like to call it the mother ducker. Because this dude is, you go on this duck tour pretty much. You get in this little boat-like vehicle thing that goes on land and water. It's going to be amazing. Okay, Dad, you can stop. Okay, guys, I'm gonna see you at the duck tour. Hey, guys, we're at the duck tour now, called Ride the Duck. We have these boat things over there. You can see. Looks pretty awesome. And yeah, we got these little cracker things. They're really annoying. I swear, they're annoying. So we have these little things that bug my dad, so go like. And yeah, we don't bug our dad if we want to. We're riding the ducks. Ride the ducks.
Duck fight.
No.
I'm gonna sound really angry.
Okay, I think it's so weird. I'm cringing to death. Oh my gosh. Stop, shut up, it's annoying now. Guys, I'll see you when we're getting on to Ride the Duck or the mother ducker. I want to like to say the mother ducker.
Daddy, what type of duck?
I'm not sure what you call these sort of vehicles. Do you call it a car, a bus, or a boat? Or a boat bus, or car boat, whatever.
Alright.
I don't know.
And I'll send you over to Katie right over there.
We're boarding over here. Over here.
Did you guys like to get a picture before you get on board?
Sure.
Sure. Okay. Hi, Brandon. You scared me.
It's not Brandon.
Brian. Sorry. Whatever. We're boarding the mother ducker. This vehicle makes wide caution. This vehicle makes wide turns. Okay. Well, we're all one, right?
Back there, it's I.
Behind Brian. Brian, we're seat buddies.
What's up? What's up?
I'm gonna sit here.
I love this.
It's like a little bus. What do you call this? A boat, a bus, or a car?
All three.
All three? Awesome. One is. Hey,
I'm gonna take this everywhere.
check out your photo.
Get over, Joe.
Everywhere I go.
Leaving Lamar the Ducker.
You know, if you don't put it in your mouth, it doesn't make noise.
Yeah. Don't put it in your mouth. What is this here thing for? What? This thing.
Joey, lean into him.
Good?
I'm gonna sit down and you're gonna drive people crazy.
Anyone crazy at the minute?
Scaring them off. Very nice.
Hashtag
You can get pictures of all of them, so they can
I
have
will
nice.
try, but they are way too close. I can't do it. No, you can try it. My
Now
Zoom
look this way,
lens.
guys.
My Zoom might have to lean back.
Ready? Look this way. One, two, three. Nice.
Get your note. Okay, let me see. Yeah, there you go. It's like super close up, but that's just Tammy. That's as far as away as you can get, though.
Alright, guys, we're moving. That's our bus driver today.
That's our duck driver.
He's a duck driver. I like it.
Yeah, what happened?
That's what I heard. Person in the back, are you in F?
All right, welcome to Ride the Ducks in
F12
Seattle.
is always
My
the
name
driver.
is Chip Ahoy. I'm going to talk to you as we drive around town.
Chip Ahoy, we love you!
Okay.
Thank you,
Bye.
Stormy. Is anybody here from the Seattle area? Okay, you three people, go along with everything I say. I'm pretty convincing when I lie. And if you don't sell me out, everybody else will believe me.
That's correct.
Space Needles carved out a one-seater log with a pocket knife. I should know I did it last week. All right, for those of you not from the Seattle area, I'm going to let you in a little secret about people here in Seattle. We're very friendly. If you yell and wave and scream at people on the sidewalk, they're going to wave back at you.
Okay.
Most of the time with 5 fingers. Take advantage of this. You're never going to see the people on the sidewalk again, so have some fun. Our driver today, put your hands together for Captain Johnny B. Good. He doesn't look it, but he is actually a very, very smart guy. He was the valedictorian of his high school class. Of course, he was homeschooled. All right, first thing we're going to talk about is the Seattle Center. Then we're going down to the waterfront, into the old part of town, back up through the newer part of downtown. Then we're going to go do what you wanted to do in the first place. See if this thing's going to float one more time. Because we're going out of the water, let's get the boring safety talk out of the way. Above your head are life jackets. Coast Guard makes me demonstrate how to put one of those on. I'll do it when we get closer to the water. Everybody look out the windows. Congratulations, you just found the nearest emergency exit. Use it only if I tell you to. Elbows on the railing, okay. Straight out the duct, not okay. We're a wide vehicle. If you put your arm out there, we go by a bus, a truck, or a tree, it's gonna hurt. Don't do it. Also, please stay seated while we're on land. You never know when we're gonna have to hit the brakes. If you're standing up, if he hits the brakes, you're gonna come flying forward. I am not quick, even though I don't look it, okay? The only person on this duck I'm going to be able to catch is you. Yeah. She's gonna fall right in my lap. You want me to make sure I catch you too? Maybe. All right. Out on the lake, if you feel the need to stand up, stretch your legs, maybe do some dancing, go for it. The brakes don't work on the water. The last thing we need to go over, this is a non-smoking tour. If I catch you smoking, I'm just going to assume you're on fire, and I do have a fire extinguisher up here, and I'm not afraid to use it. That's it for the safety
I
talk.
should test that.
You guys ready to get out of here and go have some fun?
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Let's do it.
That's next thing, yeah.
All right, here we go.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us,
How's the tour so far?
and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
First thing we're going to talk about is this piece of public art on our right-hand side. This is called the Ancient Bamboo Forest. If you like looking at public art, come back after the tour and stand on that sidewalk and stare at that piece of artwork. I guarantee it, you're going to see a parking lot on the other side. Oh.
Well, look, they're just like
Honestly,
pumpkins.
something to do with pumpkins. If I was in Fremont, it wouldn't shock me at all. All right. On our right-hand side, this is the Mopop. This was built by Microsoft co-founder Paul Allen. One day he found $240 million laying around his couch cushions, so he picked it up, paid for the construction of this building with it. That building is designed to look like a smash guitar laying on the stage. Yeah.
Not seeing it.
Well, supposedly if you're up in the air looking down, it does. No, no. It doesn't look any more like a smash guitar at the top of the Space Needle than it does right here. But that's what it's supposed to look like. When we get alongside this duck, I want everybody to yell as loud as you can at it. All right, ready? All right, nicely done. The Mopop is an interactive rock and roll pop culture science fiction museum. Is anybody here a Jimi Hendrix fan? You need to go in there if you haven't been there 5 times yet already. Alan is a huge Hendrix guy. Is anybody a Star Trek fan?
Scared to death.
Yeah. Now you need to go in there. Have been there, done that? Did you sit in Captain Kirk's chair? Yeah. Did you get your picture taken? Yeah. You must have asked nicely because normally they'll politely tell you no.
I know.
Everything else you see on the right-hand side of the duck was built for the 1962 World's Fair, including the monorail that we're going under right now. Everything you need to know about that monorail, I'm going to tell you right now. It's 2 miles long, takes 2 minutes, costs $2.25 each way. There's 2 trains, there's 2 tracks, there's 2 stations, and if that's too much info, the guy who built it had a 1-track mind.
Finally, there's a one in there.
On our right-hand side is a life-size replica of the Space Needle. The original one's down in Oklahoma City with our basketball team. I'm still bitter. Space Needle is 605 feet tall. At the top, there is a restaurant and an observation deck. Neat thing about the restaurant is that it rotates 360 degrees. It takes 47 minutes to go all the way around, and you're going to have to take my word for it because the restaurant's not open. They're doing a big renovation on the Space Needle, and they're spending like $125 million. When they're done, I've been told it's going to have a glass floor on the observation deck. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah. Yeah. So you're gonna be walking around the glass floor, looking down 605 feet, going. Yeah. But it's supposed to, the observation deck is open. The restaurant is closed, so you can still go to the top. Everything's supposed to be done by May, which in Seattle time that means September, maybe August. Yeah, if they work overtime. Yeah. All right, we're coming into what is known as a quiet zone. What a quiet zone really means is I'm not allowed to talk on the microphone or play music as we go by some condos that are up in front of us. Our boss has received 4,308 phone calls from the residents asking us to please be quiet. So with that in mind,
feel free to yell and scream as loud as you want, as long as you don't have a microphone.
and those of you with quackers, this is a great time to make sure they're functioning properly. Because I can't stop you from doing any of that. While we're stopped at the light, is anybody celebrating a birthday? Alright. How about 2 birthdays? Alright. How about an anniversary? No. An engagement? Divorce? Parole hearing? Alright, and sometime we're going to play a song for the 2 birthdays. Enjoy the roller coaster ride down to the bottom of the hill.
I don't know, man. Yeah.
On our right, this is the Olympic Sculpture Park. It's 9 acres of public art. It's absolutely free to go to. It's part of the Seattle Art Museum. On weekends, they do have walking tours where somebody will walk you around, tell you about all the different pieces of art and the artists who did the work. Public art is a big deal here in the state of Washington. There is actually a law that says if you use public money for a construction project, 1% of the budget for that project goes to artwork for that site. There is a lot of artwork in downtown Seattle, and I don't get 95% of it. As soon as we get a green light, if you want an example of why I don't get it, if you take a look to your right, you'll see a kind of an orangish red sculpture. Okay, I've been told by the people who did it that it is an eagle. You know the one I'm talking about? Yeah. Yeah. It looks more like one of those balls and those little jacks. It looks more like that than an eagle. Okay, now I got you all curious now as to what it really looks like, right? Yeah. Well, we're stuck here. That building on your right, the green window, that's called a vivarium. What's in there is the typical vegetation you'd find in a rainforest. There's the sculpture I'm talking about.
An eagle?
Did anybody see an eagle?
Doesn't look like an eagle.
Really? Nice line. All right, we have made it down to the waterfront.
Oh, I think we did.
When you turn the corner, if you took a look to your right, you're going to see Puget Sound and the Olympic Peninsula.
Hand on the wheel, got my pistons pumping, all 800 horses running. Oh baby, 125 in the middle of the night, got my.
I played a Beatles song for a reason. Back in 1964, the Beatles came to Seattle. This is the hotel they stayed at. This is the Edgewater. When the Beatles were in town, they actually put up a 30-foot wall across the front of that hotel to keep the groupies out. Two young ladies managed to sneak through security, hiding in the bottom of laundry baskets. They got almost all the way to the suite before security caught them and kicked them out. You go into that hotel, there's a very famous photo of the Beatles fishing out their hotel window. You can't do that no more. About 5 years after the Beatles were in town, another band came in and stayed in the same suite, saw the photo, ordered fishing poles. They threw the line out the window. They pulled back a bunch of fish. The only problem was they didn't give the fish to the restaurant. They left them laying around the hotel suite. They check out, the maid goes in and sees all the dead fish. That's it, no more fishing for anybody. Take a look to your right. This is Elliott Bay. The land on the other side is West Seattle. The northern tip right around that point to the right is Alki Beach. It's where the first European settlers landed back in 1851. It's called the Denny Party. Arthur Denny went in and sat down with Chief Seattle of the Duwamish tribe. Chief Seattle convinced Arthur Denny that this was the better side of the bay to start a city on, so the following spring they moved over here, and it worked out well for two very simple reasons. The port is better protected from the weather inside here, and there was more drinking water available for a growing population. Does anybody like sushi? Oh, best sushi bar in Seattle is right there at the Seattle Aquarium. If you go in there for a snack, don't let them see you eating there exhibit, okay?
We were there yesterday.
If you do go in there, there's actually a pretty cool exhibit. Some windows on Washington Waters.
Oh, yeah.
It's a 120,000 gallon tank. Everything that takes native to Puget Sound. On your right is the great wheel sitting at the end of Miner's Landing. 1897, a boat came down from Alaska and tied up right there. There was a rumor going around that it had a ton of gold on board. They lied. It had 2 tons of gold. When they unloaded it, the gold rush, Klondike Gold Rush started. Over 40,000 people came through Seattle on their way to Alaska. Less than 10 people came back with enough money to last their own lifetime. I'll tell you about one of those miners a little bit later on the tour. Rare sight in Seattle. Look, everybody, there's a Starbucks. There's 100, get out of here. There's 139 Starbucks in the city limits of Seattle. Every time I point out a Starbucks on our trip today, I want everybody to go, ka-ching. You ready? Let's give it a try. There's a Starbucks. Not bad. We got 127 targets of opportunity left. If you're into shrunken heads, mummies, go to the Curiosity Shop. In that store is the largest collection of shrunken heads in North America. There are 3 mummies, and they also have a walking ghost tour. I see dead people. You're gonna. Let me ask those people from the Seattle area. You a little nervous right now? Being underneath the viaduct? 2001, we had an earthquake, and this viaduct got damaged so bad that it turned into the 3rd deadliest stretch of highway because they're afraid it's coming down on its own. Don't worry, they're replacing it with a deep bore tunnel. Estimated completion date for that tunnel is June 2015. Yeah, that's the original completion date. On your right, this is Coleman Dock. If you want, this is the ferry terminal here in Seattle. If you want to go on a ferry boat ride, great way to do it is to walk on. Don't take your car.
Segway.
This one's going to take you to Bainbridge Island or Bremerton. Go to Bremerton. Crazy people live in Bainbridge. But it's going to cost you a little over $8 to go that way. But when you come back to Seattle, it's free. You only got to pay one way. And then you can say you've ridden on the largest passenger ferry system in the country. Every year, about 26 million people get on a ferry boat here in the state. It is the largest passenger ferry system in the country. Yeah, that tunnel I was mentioning that's replacing this viaduct starts down by the stadiums. The north portal is actually right behind the ticket booth. Just when you get back to the ticket booth, if you look back behind us, you'll see a couple cranes. They're tearing apart the boring machine right now, throwing it away. All right, let's head on into the oldest part of town.
Hand on the wheel, got my pistons pumping, all 800 horses running. Oh baby, 125 in the middle of the night, got my engine thundering. Dream machine, racing queen, I'll take you wherever you wanna go. Let's blow this town, break the speed of sound. Tonight we all know crazy. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat, you make my heart beat. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat, you make my heart beat.
Now in the oldest section of Seattle. This is Pioneer Square. As we drive through this part of town, you'll notice that all the buildings down here look similar. That's because they were all built at the same time. On June 6, 1889, hey, Eagles! Pigeons.
Pigeon.
On June 6, 1889, a carpenter was working in his shop down here and he had to boil some glue in a pot. Well, he didn't pay attention to the pot of glue, he was busy doing other stuff. And the glue boiled over and it caught the shop on fire. Next door happened to be a liquor store. Fire hit it, boom, up it went. Then things got bad because next to the liquor store was a hardware store full of black powder. Fire hit that black powder and overnight, 29 square blocks of downtown Seattle burned to the ground. That park is Occidental Park. It'll be packed tomorrow before the Seahawks game. Overnight, 29 blocks burned to the ground, left some photo. When they rebuilt the town, they had to follow 2 very strict rules. Rule number 1, you must use non-flammable material. That's why it's all brick and stone. Rule number 2, they had to build everything up 10 feet. Including the road that we're on. The reason why they did that is this part of town was originally built on a tide flat. And twice a day at high tide the water would come in and flood the town, or part of the town out. But the good news is, because the road was up, the building was up, once they put the sidewalks in, they encapsulated the original town, and there's a tour you can take. It's called the Underground, where you can walk under that area and see what the original town looked like. If you want to do that tour, it's not part of our company. It's on the corner of First and Yesler, right in front of the pergola. Take a look to your right. You'll see a bus. Behind that bus, there's CenturyLink Field. That's where the Seahawks and the Sounders play. On the other side of it is Safeco Field. That's where the Mariners attempt to play baseball. Hey, I won my bet. Yeah. All right, let's head on up to the newer part of downtown.
I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes.
I want you to have a lot of fun in my city, but if you have too much fun, you're going to end up in one of these two buildings. That's the jail. That's the courthouse. Yeah. There's actually a bridge on the top that connects the jail to the courthouse. Yeah. On your right, this is the Columbia Center. This is the tallest building in Seattle. At the top of this building, there is an observation deck and there is a private club. If you can get into the private club, do it. If for no other reason than to use the bathrooms. All the toilets sit facing looking out a window. You have an unbelievable territorial view. The building on your right is the main branch of the Seattle Public Library. There are more library cards issued to King County residents per capita than anywhere else in the country. I didn't believe that, so I went in and asked the librarian if it was true. Starbucks. She said it was, and that was because Seattle's considered one of the more literate cities. I thought it was because we were too cheap to buy the book. All right, we're heading into the shopping district, so I'm going to tell you a story about that miner. He was a single 17-year-old kid living here, and he did not want to be a logger, so he packed up his stuff, got on a boat, went to Alaska, came back 3 years later, early 1900s, he had $13,000 worth of gold in his pocket. The value of that gold today would be in the, well, about the $500,000 range. He did what any single 20-year-old would do with $500,000. He opened a women's shoe store. That guy's name is John Nordstrom. Yeah. Ladies, what's the first thing you see when you walk in the marquee entrance of any Nordstrom? The women's shoe department. That's how they pay homage to how the family fortune got started. On our right is Seattle's only public shower. So if you get sweaty and feel like you need to clean up, get yourself a bar of soap. Free shower. This is Westlake Park. We are now in the middle of the shopping district of downtown. You're not supposed to get wet going through there. All right. Off to our right, you'll see the flagship Nordstrom store. And another Starbucks! That Starbucks right there, believe it or not, is the second busiest Starbucks in North America.
Wow.
The only one busier, Times Square, New York. Yeah. And no, it's busier than the one in the market, the original one, yeah. All right, we're heading into Belltown, which is the residential part of downtown. And as we head through Belltown, I have a montage of songs. All these songs have one thing in common. See if you can guess what it is.
Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Simon. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
They are not all Seattle bands. Every one of those songs was recorded here in Seattle. If you look up the sidewalk to our left, you're going to see a black awning 2212. That is Bad Animals Recording Studio. They were all recorded right there. Don't feel bad about not knowing the answer. One person has got it correct in all the times I've done this tour. No. He gave me the name of it and he gave me the address. I looked at him and I said, how'd you possibly know that? He said, simple. I just retired from 35 years as a sound engineer there. He worked on every single one of those songs. So I said, hey, what should I tell people about Bad Animals on my tour? He says, I'm glad you asked. Don't knock on the door. They don't do public tours. Everyone in this next group is either from Seattle or lives in the Seattle area now.
Fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
Don't laugh. Kenny G's got to live somewhere. Put a hard hat on. Look to your right. This is the South Lake Union neighborhood. All this construction started over 20 years ago. Paul Allen owned pretty much most of the dirt, about 5 blocks that way, all the way out to Lake Union. And he had a plan to revitalize this part of Seattle. Simple plan. He wanted to put a big park in the middle of it. It was going to be a couple blocks wide, 5 or 6 blocks long. It was going to end in the lake. It was going to be beautiful. Around the 3 sides, he was going to put residential, retail, and commercial buildings. City of Seattle said, no, you're not. We don't like that idea. Turned it down. He went back to the drawing board, came back a little while later with Plan B. Plan B was, I want to put a big park in the middle of this area. I'm going to put residential, retail, commercial around the 3 sides. And to sweeten the deal, he told the city that he would personally maintain the park for 20 years. After 20 years, he would donate the park to the city of Seattle. Sound like a good deal for the city? What does Seattle do when they get handed a good deal? They say, thank you very much, but no, we don't like that, and turn them down again. He got mad. He sold off most of the dirt that we've been driving by on our right-hand side, all the way out to Mercer, for $3 billion to one guy. His name is Jeff Bezos, who runs Amazon. Everything we've been driving by, and we're still driving by, is either an Amazon corporate office or the infrastructure to support the over 40,000 people that work for Amazon here in Seattle. Now, if you're a single lady looking for a husband, or a wife looking to upgrade to husband 2.0, pay attention to me right now. 80% of the people who work for Amazon are men. 90% of them are single. Get yourself a cup of coffee, find an Amazon corporate office, and watch the front door. You will have over 30,000 opportunities to find Mr. Right. If you do find Mr. Right, buy him a cup of coffee. Talk to him. Ask him some questions. Do your due diligence. One question you should ask, where do you live? He will be young enough and dumb enough to tell you he still lives in his mother's basement. But they're just roommates now. All right, we're going to be heading up and over the hill to get into the Fremont neighborhood. We're going to be going through a residential area. You're going to get glimpses of Lake Union off to our right-hand side, especially when we get up near the top. There's not a lot to talk about, so I'm just going to play the song as we go that way. Before I push play, does anybody have a question so far? Something that you've seen, that you might have seen that I didn't talk about? Space Needle? It's right over there. Yeah. It's 605 feet tall. It's going to have a glass floor when they're done. Remember that? Yeah. Right next to the Space Needle, there's a green window building. That's the Pacific Science Center. Yeah. It's pretty cool. It's great for children. All the exhibits in there, pretty much all of them are interactive. My nieces and nephews, when they were about her age, loved it. My mother was down there about every 3-4 weeks with them. And they keep changing the exhibits. Great thing, especially if it starts to rain. Perfect place for her to go. All right, let's go.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. See the horizon turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number, fueled by them. To see the horizon turn us to thousands, and on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on
Alright, we're just about into the Fremont neighborhood. If you have not been out to Fremont, you should come out. It is a fun part of town. There are two very distinct groups of people that live in Fremont. There's the one group that loved the 1960s and stayed there. And then after 2000, a bunch of tech companies brought in the millennials, high-paid tech jobs. Take a look to your right, you're going to see Lake Union. That's where we're headed. It is awesome now that we're in Fremont. A great time to satisfy that pesky Coast Guard requirements of me showing you how to put on a personal flotation device. Ladies, if we have to put one on, I hope orange is your favorite color. I did hear orange is the new black, so it should be fine. All right, pay attention. Each step gets a little bit more difficult. There's 4 steps total. Step 1, you reach up, you grab a yellow tab, you give it a tug, 2 life jackets drop. Step 2, you have to undo the clip and unwrap the strap. Okay? Step 3, there is no front or back to the life jacket, but there is a top and a bottom. To put this on correctly, you got to grab it by the bottom, spread it apart, and put it over the top of your head like so. Still with me? Okay, here's step 4, it's the hardest. You see the clip? You got to take that clip, wrap it all the way around your neck, bring it around the side, and clip it on that ring right there. Got it? Good. Because I can't make that any simpler. And if you can't follow those instructions, well, I call that natural selection. I see a few of you paid attention in high school. That's good. All right, now that you all know how to put a life jacket on, you're probably wondering when you should put one on. It's a great question. I'll give you a good clue. If you see me wearing that life jacket, grab yourself a yellow tab quickly. There are 2 different size life jackets on board today. We have adults on that side. Okay? Children are on this side. 90 pounds and under makes you a child today. Adults in denial, please use those. I don't care what you told the DMV. Also, parents with small children, should we end up having to put life jackets on, it's very important that you put your life jacket on first, then help your child put theirs on. Okay? If you happen to have more than 1 child with you, the best advice I can give you, start with your favorite. Start with your favorite and work your way down the list.
Afraid?
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right, is anybody nervous about going in the water? A couple of you, all right. Let me ask the rest of you that same question a different way. Is anybody here nervous about this guy driving a 26,000 pound truck built in 1944 into the water and y'all staying dry? If you are a little nervous,
There's our diver shop.
I guarantee this song is going to calm you down.
Hand on the wheel, got my pistons pumping, all 800 horses running. Oh, baby. 125 in the middle of the night, got my engine thundering. Dream machine, racing queen, I'll take you wherever you wanna go. Let's slow us down, break the speed of sound. Tonight we all know crazy. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat, you make my heart beat. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat, you make my heart beat. Riding on the highway, lights flashing.
All right, we're just about to the boat ramp. Who wants to go in the water fast? Who wants to go in the water slow? Who wants to go in the water and stay on top? All right, we have made it to the boat ramp. You guys want to yell at another duck?
Yeah.
One coming out of the water right now. There he is. Aren't you glad you're on the duck with the good looking people? All right, here we go.
Hey, Doc, we better back up. We don't have enough road to get up to 88.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
I'm going to give you people some great advice right now. Don't do this with your own vehicle. Get a rental car and have some fun. All right, with this other duck that's coming out of the water, this is kind of a quiet zone, a real quiet zone. So when I count to 3, I want everybody to look that way and wave it, to turn your back to them and totally ignore them. Hang on to something and brace yourself. We're going to hit the throttle and get this thing going full speed.
You done one?
Yeah, go for it. Okay, we're there. Look at it this way. This is the fastest truck on this lake. Alright, welcome to Lake Union. As the name implies, this is the Union Point between Lake Washington, which is back behind us underneath the bridge through the Bond Lake Cut, and Puget Sound. To get to Puget Sound from here, it's very, very simple. Go down the lake halfway, turn right, you go down the Ship Canal into the Ballard Locks, and then at that point you're going to drop anywhere from 15 to 20 feet depending on the tide. At that point you're in salt water. This lake is not very deep. The average depth of it is only about 30 feet. The water temperature right now is a very comfortable 58 degrees. As my father would say, it's refreshing. Yeah. As we cruise around the lake, you're going to see fishing boats. Fishing is a big deal here in Seattle. A little over 50% of the seafood you eat in this country comes from the fishing fleet based out of Seattle. I can tell you from personal experience, it's not a safe way to make a living. When I was 19, I got a job on a boat up in Alaska. I was gone for a little over 6 months. When I got back, I had 3 things. A lot of money, a busted, bruised up body, and a brand new desire to go to college and get a degree. And now I'm doing duck tours. But I did get my piece of paper, that's all that counts. Alright, if you take a look off to your right, Most people look at these and they call it a houseboat. I am here to tell you, you are partially correct if you use that phrase. The three on this side of the dock are houseboats. The tan and white one behind the stern wheeler over there, that one is called a barge home. These are both self-contained units. They're designed to move around, and they're also designed to fit in a boat slip. The difference between the two is very simple. A houseboat has a motor, maneuvers under its own power, whereas a barge home has to be towed by another boat for it to move. One of the benefits of living in one of these is that if you do not like your neighbor, untie from the dock and go find another dock. If you're in a barge home, it's a little bit more difficult because you don't have the motor. So what you do in that case is you go to the neighbor you don't get along with, you untie him and you push it off the dock and you solve the problem. There is a third style of home. They're called floating homes. They're on that side of the lake. That's where most of them are. Float plane landing down there at the lake. On our right, this is Gasworks Park. What you're looking at over there is the remnants of an old coal gasification plant. That's how Seattle got heating oil in the early 1900s. They would extract the oil from the coal. In the mid-1950s, this plant caught on fire, pretty much destroyed it. You're looking at about 10% of what was on the site when it was functioning. The owners decided not to rebuild, and instead they donated the land to the city of Seattle. The city of Seattle said, thank you very much. And then somebody asked, what are you going to do to clean it up before the World's Fair gets here in '62? Their answer, we'll get back to you. They hemmed and hawed for about 6-7 months. Finally, they unveiled the grand plan. You ready? Let's take a fence, put around what's left of the plant. We'll tell everybody that's public art. We'll plant grass and call it a park. That plan did not work. The ground here was so contaminated, grass wouldn't grow. They tried for over 3 years. They were running out of time. So what they ended up doing is they trucked in enough dirt to cover this entire site with 2 feet of topsoil. They planted grass one more time. It grew that time. And because we do things quickly here in Seattle, this officially became a city park in 1972. What you're looking at took the city of Seattle about 15 years to do. Great place if you want to watch fireworks on the 4th of July. They will load a barge up with fireworks. They park it out in the middle of the lake. There'll be over 1,000 boats out here. 100,000 people will be in that park. And believe it or not, they actually start showing up at 6 o'clock in the morning, rain or shine. Gate opens at noon. Alright, I'm going to play you a song. It's from a movie made right here in Seattle. If you know the name of the movie, shout it out.
Racing queen, you make my heart, you make my heart beat. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat, you make my heart beat. Driving on the highway, blue lights flashing behind me. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat, you make my heart beat.
Seattle, you are absolutely correct. Raise your hand if you have never seen the movie. Wow. You haven't made him watch that yet? Alright, I'm going to save you the rental fee, okay? I'm going to show you the home first, then I'll tell you all about it. If you look over to the shoreline, you'll see a group of sailboats tied up in the dock over there. To the left of it, you'll see some floating homes. On the left edge of that group of floating homes, there at the end of the dock, there is a 2-story tan house. It's got a window in the gabled end on the 2nd floor. Big deck off the front. Can y'all see that one? That is the floating home that was used in the movie, Sleepless in Seattle. And for those of you that haven't seen the movie, here you go. Meg Ryan lives in Baltimore. Tom and his son live right there. Tom's kid calls the radio show, talks about how lonely dad is now that mom had died. Meg hears it on the radio, flies to Seattle, stalks them for about 45-50 minutes of the movie. The kid runs away to New York City. They all end up at the top of the Empire State Building. Tom and Meg look at each other, they fall in love, end of movie. Now you don't have to rent it. Yeah. That in essence is the movie. The hill behind the Sleepless home is Queen Anne. The hill on the other side of the lake is Capitol Hill. The big building at the top of Capitol Hill is St. Mark's Cathedral. And as we head to the other side of the lake, I'm just going to play a song, like sit back, relax, enjoy some music. In my opinion, that's the best view of downtown there is from the water. Some of the floating homes that are on this lake. There's a bunch more behind us and also up in front of us. Now these floating homes got their start back in the early 1900s when loggers couldn't afford to pay property tax to live on land. So what the loggers would do is they'd bundle up a bunch of logs, they would build a small house on top of the logs, and they were able to live basically free right there on the water. It was very inexpensive. At one point in time, there were over 2,500 floating homes on this lake alone. Each and every one of them had a bathroom. None of them were connected to a sewer pipe. Everything went straight in the lake. The lake got very polluted. The state stepped in and said, we got to clean it up. They capped the number of floating homes at 500. All 500 must be hooked up to public utilities, power, water, sewer. That is the main characteristic of a floating home. The other is where you see one sitting right now, is where it stays. These do not move around. You can move one if you want. It's very, very difficult. I'll tell you about that in just a second of how you can move one, and what you got to do to move it. If you wanted to buy a floating home, you go to the bank, you get a conventional mortgage loan like any other house you buy, and along with that, you will pay property tax, just like any house that you have. The other two styles, you get a boat loan, and you register them every year like you do any boat that you own. The average size home on this lake is 1,300 square feet. That house today is going to cost you $3 million. This is no longer the inexpensive way to live on the lake. Part of what you buy when you buy one is you buy part of the dock. These are set up on a homeowners association. So that means if you want to move your house, you have to find one of the 500 hookups that are all taken. Now you got to find somebody willing to trade you spots. If you do find somebody willing to trade you the spot, you have to buy his chunk of the dock, and they have to buy your chunk of the dock, because it goes with the problem with the home. It's almost more of a hassle than it's worth. Just go buy the house where you want it located. Some of these floating homes actually have basements with windows in them. Kind of a reverse aquarium thing going on. Yeah. Instead of you walking up to the glass to look at the fish are coming up to the glass to look at you. Let me ask you this, would you pay $1,200 a month in rent to live in one?
Yes.
Where do you live? Mount Vernon? You want to see what your new home looks like? Oh, it's gorgeous. It's going to cost you $1,200 a month. Look behind that green sailboat. You see the brown house with all the chairs up on the roof? Pretty nice, isn't it? That ain't it. Look to the left of it. You see the gray one with the black awning? No? That is the smallest floating home on the lake. It is one of 500.
We got done with the tour, and yeah. The reason I stopped halfway is because I don't want to run out of memories. Like, that whole thing just took up an hour of footage. We're gonna be going to, we may go back to Wings of Washington, because our group wants to experience it. They really want to. They may go to the Flight Museum or the zoo, but we'll see. Alright guys, we are back. After that tour, we decided to eat. We're eating at a place called Brown Pot or something, and yeah. See how when we're doing. We're at the Space Needle, guys. Yeah, what happened is after we did that, we went to Wings over Washington, and yeah, it's beautiful. This place is just gorgeous, okay? And yeah, we went and did on the Wings over Washington again because that's the most amazing ride. We went shopping. I got 2 more fidget spinners, a red and blue one that says Seattle. I'll show you on one of my other videos, but it's amazing. And yeah, after we did that, we went to the Space Needle. Here we are. Is this the Glass Garden?
No, it's a shop. Don't touch anything.
Oh. So there's a nice little gift shop here. And yeah. Taking some pictures. We're all so fancy. Elevator. You guys, I'll see ya when we get to the top.
Over to your left, Queen Anne Hill, over to your right.
Wow.
Just behind me out in Elliott Bay. You can see a couple of ferry boats heading in and out of port.
This was slow.
We do have the 2nd largest ferry fleet in the entire world, just behind Istanbul. But our boats are bigger, so we think we're slightly better. A little further back into the Puget Sound, about 3 years ago, we found the world's largest octopus. It was about 35 feet long, weighing over 600 pounds. Kind of cool, kind of gross, all at the same time. Just a quick reminder to you all when you get up top, no food or drink outside, but you guys can stay as long as you like or until 9 o'clock when we close, which is in about an hour and a half. Have a great rest of your night.
My ears are weird.
Yeah, that's the elevator right at the top.
Okay, stay with me, guys.
It smells good.
It does smell good.
Wow. Seattle. We're pretty. We're in the Space Needle now, guys. This is amazing, okay? Holy crap. It's awesome. We go outside. We need to go outside. They have telescopes too. Awesome.
We went to the bathroom downstairs. Maybe he's looking for caramel popcorn.
Yeah, he's looking for caramel popcorn. That's Space Needle. Holy crap. Okay, 10% battery left, but it's fine. Okay, I need to use some of these telescopes. Holy crap, that's pretty. Picture time. Nice. I think I got a nice little picture. There's that area down there. Yeah. I'm gonna use these telescopes after these people are done. Can I use these? Okay, this is cool. Okay, that scared me.
Want to go around?
I know, I'm looking.
I know, come on.
It's not good. It's not. It's bad. It's not even functional. It doesn't even work. Okay, let me try this. Can you see anything or no? Quality's crap.
Yeah, that's not what it is.
What? These are awful. The quality is crap. You can't even see out of it.
Alright, Joe, come on.
If these things suck, they get better ones. Holy crap! That's where you get the best view apparently. Wow. I'm taking some pictures. The city is it's pretty big. Holy crap.
Here, let's find another spot. Listen, come on.
Let's go. Let's continue over here.
Okay, come on. I want to stop right up here.
The Space Needle. Holy crap. Up there's the. I think it's a good area. Show me.
Just wait.
能给我俩照相吗？可以。来一张一张。这咱们俩站在这儿，让爸爸给照一张吧。来，来，你看我们俩站在这儿照吗？
That's what it's called, a city, right there. There's that area. Just gorgeous views. Holy crap. It's pretty on camera.
Don't bump me. Bumped me.
I didn't mean to. It's a helicopter. Not over there. I'm gonna take this picture. I have to go around the Space Needle. Alright, let's go. In a little bit, we will. This is what I picture as a city.
Yeah, which is. But you use my phone.
Well, I'm gonna use. Is this quality better? Oh, yes, it's better.
Okay.
Holy crap, guys! I'm sure on camera. How am I gonna do this?
Yeah, come on, Dan.
It's not showing up on camera now.
Over here? Why do you want to do that?
Why is it why? Oh.
That ruin it.
It's up to you. It's not bad. Yeah.
It's really insane, though. It's not showing up on camera, but it's. But yeah. Oh. You see a little bit of it, but yeah, it's about it. Let me take off my glasses. See.
Stand by me for a second.
I'm looking.
Joey.
What?
You're in their photo. Come out for a second.
Joey, is that one crap?
Thanks, Sarah. Do you want me to take it?
Try.
1 minute. Let's see if I can see anyone in the hotels.
Joey, give her a turn.
Fine. Okay, let's go on. Alright, so let's keep moving to the right. Oh, make sure you guys like and subscribe because yeah, I'm really close on hitting 300 subscribers. I need to get 300. And yeah. Okay, let's go.
Hey, don't go far. Joey, hold on.
Mom's looking to the thing. No ducky.
Alright, where's your sister?
Over there.
Alright. I see her.
Place is crowded.
I know. How's your batteries?
I live right across that little ferry you see coming in right there.
Do you really
I
want
take
to
that
find
ferry.
out?
I'm gonna keep walking around, okay?
Yeah, I'm an hour ferry.
We know it's crowded, but it's fine.
How long have you been out here then?
I've been, yeah.
Shit, we were on that yesterday. We were on that ferry yesterday.
Listen, no.
No quacks. No quacky quackies.
I did my
It's even more beautiful over here. There's another ship. Picture. Mom over here. So cool. Holy crap. So beautiful. I'm gonna wait for these guys.
It's locked.
Space feels so cool. Holy crap.
Oh, that's scared.
Picture. 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 Picture.
I can see lights, but they're all blurry.
Picture. Are these more of these crappy ones? Oh, it's one of these better ones. Yeah. other one I have. Beef. Check out our YouTube channel. It's yogurt. Where did Mom go?
I'm right here, Joey.
Oh, you were over there.
Come on, Alyssa. Mona.
Tavern.
Mona, top wheel. Buying food. Buying on the door to
Tavern.
said no food out here, so. It said no food or
So
drinks.
beautiful though.
Joey, come on.
It's pretty.
I'm not even sure that's okay, guys. Let's go with these.
Yeah, which is funny.
Space Needle.
Probably. Paper airplanes. Can you even think of paper? Well, Joey and Lisa, should we go in here?
Not yet. We need a whole 360 view.
We go all the way around. I think we have.
Wow, it's pretty. Holy
I think we
crap.
did. I'm gonna go back and go in this door.
Yeah, agreed.
No.
Joey, you've seen it. Let's go find Dad. You can come back out with Dad. We got a shield. We've been all the way around it.
Where's helicopter? Yeah, I do. I'm gonna run this until it's dead. So if it cuts off randomly, then yeah. Okay, guys, I'm gonna end this video now here. Hope you guys enjoyed the third day here. Hopefully you enjoyed the duck tour. I should not record everything. Should have not recorded that whole thing. I thought it was about 20 minutes long, but instead it was like an hour. But yeah. So like and subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Bye.